This video is going to walk you through how to do a clipping mask in Adobe Illustrator. So go ahead and open up Adobe Illustrator, and then I'm just going to create a new document. I'll go ahead and choose common, that's fine. For this assignment, you're going to need to have a picture that you've already saved somewhere on your computer. So I'm going to put together a picture of the Chicago skyline with the word Chicago. So I'm going to go ahead and say File, Open, and you need to find your picture that you saved. Here is my Chicago skyline. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And you'll notice that puts it on its own tab. So I'm just going to go ahead and close the previous tab. I'm going to be in my selection tool. I'm going to move this up, and I'm going to resize this. When I do, I want to hold down the Shift key so that I don't distort my picture. So while I am clicking and dragging from the corner, I do have my Shift key also pressed. So there's the picture, and I want to put the word Chicago across this on the top. I'm going to go to the Text tool, and then I'm going to click, and I'm going to type Chicago all in caps. Now right now that is really tiny, that's okay. I'm going to go back to my select tool, and now I can make this bigger. I can move it around, and I can also change the way this looks like. So if I go to, there we go, type, and then I go to font, I can select a different font for this, and I want something that's kind of bold. So if I go here to the bottom, there's a little tiny arrow, and I can scroll down and find more. So I'm looking for something that's kind of fat and bold to do this. I'm going to try using, let's try this Franklin Gothic Heavy. That might work. So I'm going to make this be bigger, stretch this out. I'm going to move this on top of my picture, and I'm trying to get this Sears Tower to be inside my letters. So I want to make this be a lot bigger. And actually, I even want to make, I think that's going to work if I just slide this over maybe a little bit, make this even bigger so I get the top of the Sears Tower. There we go. So now I have my text. I've moved it on top of my picture, and now I'm going to use that clipping mask to put this together. So I'm going to go to Object up at the top, clipping mask, and make. But before I do that, I have to make sure that I've selected everything on my screen. So to do that, if I just kind of click and drag across both these objects, I hopefully will have both things selected, my picture and my words. So I'm going to try this object, make. There we go. It worked. There is my clipping mask. So now to turn this in, I'm going to do File, Save As. I want to make sure this is an Adobe Illustrator file, and I'm going to call this Chicago Skyline. I'm going to draw this Z so I know it's the one I just did. I'm going to say Save, and I'm also going to, hold on, I got to just say OK on that little screen. I'm also going to export this. I'm going to go to File, Export, Export As, and I want this to be a PNG because I want to make sure it's not white around it. So this is again Chicago Skyline Z, PNG, and I'm going to say OK.